saw my old friend today. He looked well, he seemed okay, but soon it came a tale of woe, a shock to me I didn't know. I saw my old friend today, dear old pal, to times gone by. Life is cruel, don't ask me why. So let's drink up this pint of beer. I'll tell a dirty joke I heard last year. I saw my old friend today, a friend that's been there all of the way. So when I'm deep, deep down in the ocean, you always help me out when you can. You are the one who threw me a lifeline, 'cause you're a true friend of mine when I'm standing on the edge. I leave for home today. I tried to find some wisdom on the way. I like to heed my own advice. And are we men or are we mice? He was so down, you see, so I wouldn't talk about me. You know I wouldn't talk about me. So when I'm deep, deep down in the ocean, you always help me out when you can. You are the one who threw me a lifeline, 'cause you're a true friend of mine. And I'm standing on the edge. The only way is down. You help me out when I'm deep, deep down in the ocean. You always help me out when you can. You are the one who threw me a lifeline, 'cause you're a true friend of mine. When I'm standing on the edge and the world is rushing by, you give me wings so I can fly. I saw my old friend today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio. And this is, of course, Sunday's special guest interview show. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Monica Brinkman. And you can find me 7 days a week hosting the show. But on Sundays, we have a special host, and her name is Carrie Hall. And hi, Carrie. Nice to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Carrie does a lot behind the scenes, and she does the interviews for our musical guests, where we get a little more intimate look at the people behind the music. And I see you have a young man with us today, Carrie. Can you introduce him to us?
I would be totally delighted. Viewers, this is the wonderful Chris Berntsen. He is a singer, songwriter, a man of many voices. We're going to get into that a little bit, and many talents. Hi, Chris, and welcome to It Matters Radio.
Hi, Chris.
Hello. Nice to be with you.
So, Chris, I'm going to start out that, let's go back a few years. You started out very young. What drew you to doing music?
Ooh, I didn't start doing music until I had my first proper experience at it was a year 11, so just as I was finishing school, we had a sort of a end of year music event that was solely based on ABBA, which was actually really good fun. But that was sort of the thing that piqued my interest.
Love ABBA.
Well, don't we all?
Right.
But after that, I didn't really, I did like karaoke and things, but I didn't pick it up again until, I don't know, 3 years ago. So once, about 21, when I picked it up again.
Wow. So, did you have professional vocal training, or is this kind of basically a natural talent for you because you're a wonderful voice?
I've had a couple lessons. Not masses, but I've had a few.
It helps. Yeah,
It does help.
Absolutely has helped. Just
I mean, the most important part is probably how to use your voice correctly.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, where to breathe from, and and to get the most force out of it. So that's good that you did that.
Yeah. So it says on your bio, Chris, that you have many voices, actually, and you've been in many genres. You've done this, I'm going to just hazard a guess, from Frank Sinatra to probably ABBA. I mean, what is your favorite genre of music that you really like to do, despite your own music, I mean?
Or to perform?
Hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say because they're all very different. You know, when I'm doing the swing, I'm all suited and booted, and it's a whole different atmosphere to doing anything else. But I think the thing I enjoy the most is not necessarily a specific genre; it's just the band environment. Okay. It's nice just having a group of people that you can buzz off and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So speaking of band, your voice was so amazing that you were asked to be part of a band, and let me see if I get this name correctly. Sorry, Runaway Train. Let's talk a little bit about Runaway Train.
Well, okay, Runaway Train is it's just a little covers band that actually my uncle put together. So he's been in bands all through his career as well, and him and a couple of friends from his childhood that he used to be in bands with decided to put a band together, and I was just lucky enough to be asked to be a part of it, and it's been fantastic.
Wow! So you're still performing with them along as doing your solo, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's good. That's good.
That's really great. So you're fairly young, and but I'm going to ask you this question anyway. You've been in indie music for a little while. What do you see are the pluses of indie music, and maybe what the negatives might be?
I would say. Do you know what? I don't know. You've asked me a really difficult question.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But just in general, you've been in it a little while. Do you think indie music is the way it's going to go? Do you think maybe we should go back to recording with companies like Decca and all those? What do you think? Just a general opinion is what I'm looking for.
No, I think it's probably a good way for us to go. We need to develop, and it's a way for the industry to do that.
Well, I think that you can be as a performer much freer being indie, because when you get with a label, they can tell you what type of music. If we go back in history, and first of all, if you go back in history, even with the Beatles and such, the money that was taken from them was tremendous. You know, this way, I think indie artists get to keep a lot of it. They decide how much money they want to spend on marketing and publicity and management.
They have much more control.
They do it, and I think it's a good thing. And I'm sure that the big record companies don't like it, but
no,
you know,
right.
It's wonderful.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your music as we go along here. I wanted to mention Chills. Is that your latest release? And talk a little bit, because it's a great song.
Yeah, it is our latest release. It's the one we've released as a single. So we don't know if it's necessarily going to be on the album or not, but it's released as our sort of summer single, something to a bit of a teaser, try and entice people in to keep listening. But it's not necessarily my type of song generally, because I'm musically background, you know, I grew up on things like Genesis, so it was quite out of my comfort zone, to be honest with you, to do it. But it was, you know, it's great fun. It's got a great feel to it.
It does.
It does. It's a fabulous song. So do you have a new CD out, or will it be coming out?
The album should, in theory, be coming out about sort of end of August, in theory.
In theory.
Or maybe September, October, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we are we are very much on the way. We're only sort of,
Right.
3 tracks off.
Well, you be sure and let us know when that happens,
Yes.
so we can tell
Oh.
people. Maybe play a song and say, "Hey, you can get this now."
Yes.
Okay.
And Chris, there's just so many neat songs. I just don't. I want to talk about them all, but we really don't have time. Figure It Out. I love that song. Figure It Out. And basically, it says, how am I supposed to make you happy? Now, was this kind of based on personal experience, or did you just write in that song in general?
I mean, I didn't have the luxury of writing that song. Actually, someone else has
Okay.
the credits for that one. But I mean, I would assume he's definitely got some personal feels behind it. But as a basis, we can all relate to it. We've all been there. We've all been in those situations, and it's, that's what allowed me to connect to it when I was, singing it back.
Yeah,
Well-
I used to say that about relationships, that you can't read somebody's mind, So if you want something, open your mouth and say it, because that poor person can't figure it out,
Precisely.
A lot of people can relate to that song, I know.
Right. Well, Chris, it's great music. Now, you got a chance to perform in a private party for a sort of well-known celebrity. I believe it is from the band, let me see, Boyzone. Talk a little bit about that. How exciting was that?
Yes. Yeah, I was really lucky, actually. A lady called Maureen she'd opened a pub up recently, and she was from the same place as him, and he ended up coming over here and setting up his own little party, and I was just lucky enough to be the one that they got to sing that, and it was a real breakthrough for me in terms of musically. Just the whole evening went so well that they had a little after party afterwards, and I got to go back and just have a little have a drink, have a jam, and it was a little teaser into a possible world.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's exciting. So you've done a lot of interesting gigs. Is there a gig that kind of stands out in your mind, a performance, or maybe studio time?
I mean, the latest performance was I don't know if you knew, we went over to Madeira to do the festival in Fun Chow. That was insane. That was just a whole nother world. It was fantastic scenery, great sound, great engineers. It was just a whole nother level.
Wow. So when you're on stage, Chris, and you might meet a very hostile audience, not, let's just say a little bit hostile. How do you handle that?
I mean, luckily I haven't had to encounter it yet.
That's good. But if you did.
If I did, I mean, I just not focus on them, just focus on the people that are enjoying it,
Exactly, because
if they're not enjoying it, they don't necessarily need to be there. As long as the people that are enjoying it, and I'm doing the best I can for them, then that's all I can do.
Yeah,
Right.
and if you focus on them, you're taken away from your own music.
No, absolutely, and you lose
own
concentration.
feelings. Yeah, so
No,
they're
completely.
crazy. But speaking of music, I think it's time that we take a little bit of a break and we hear some more Chris's music, folks. We'll be back in just a few. Here you go.
You got a hold of me. beautiful to me. Sunlight in your eyes helps me realize where I've been going up to now. And now is better than before. You are everything to me. The troubles in our lives seem to fade away, and it's just you that I can see. Struggle seems so far away. There's nothing left to do, there's nothing left to say. You're beautiful to me in every single little way. You are beautiful. Yes, you're beautiful to me. I owe everything to you. Just to see you smile makes it all worthwhile, and all my worries disappear. It's so much better than before. Now the past is gone away. Troubles cast aside helps us to decide where we've been going up to now. And now is better than before. There's nothing left to do, there's nothing left to say. You're beautiful to me in every single little way. You are beautiful. Yes, you're beautiful to me. And if I had to choose again, I'd do it all over, and then I'd stay with you until the very end. There's nothing left to do, there's nothing left to say. You're beautiful to me in every single little way. You are beautiful. Yes, you're beautiful to me.
One, two.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to It Matters Radio. We are talking to the wonderful Chris Berntsen, singer, songwriter, fabulous, fabulous music. So, Chris, not only do you do music, you also have competed in running events. Tell us a little bit about your running events.
Okay, all through my childhood, I was a Hampshire athlete. So that was across, it was track, so 800, 1500, and cross country as well, which was, and then that was all really inspired by my brother, who ended up a GB athlete. So, I mean, as a child, my life was very much sport orientated. It was, it was football, athletics. But it did help install, good ethics in me, that good sort of, teamwork and camaraderie, and just, I found with football growing up that, a lot of the teams, you had a lot of angst against each other. And whereas athletics, you'd be running next to someone and they'd be cheering you on with you. They don't care if you beat you. It's all about just doing it together and finishing the race. And I think it's instilled that kind of lifestyle.
Oh, that's amazing. But not only do you run, but you are also an artist. You illustrated or helped illustrate a children's book. That's delightful. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was a lady called Margaret Hammond Smith, and she wrote a trilogy of books for kids, and she got people to hand draw the covers for them, and we got speaking to her, and I read the first two, and then she asked me if I'd like to have the honour of doing the cover for the third one, which is a fantastic experience. I mean, I spent 3 years at university studying art and finally actually got to use it. So
cool. So do you think you would have been an artist first?
Well,
or a musician?
No, I was very much an artist first. I mean, that was kind of my main outlet other than sport. The main thing I did was draw, and I always knew I wanted to go down some sort of creative avenue, but it wasn't until later on in life and that I realised that I probably should have done music a bit earlier. But
so what medium did you use? Did you use like charcoal, pencil, or did you get into painting?
I did a bit of everything as a kid. I like to do, I mean, I still do it now. So I do, I use the little ink pens and I just do dot drawings. So everything's just very, very tiny dots. And then I also do a bit of clay work, which is always keep the hands nimble.
Okay, anybody, you need some artwork, contact Chris.
Yes, absolutely. But first, hire him or his band. That would be helpful too.
Yes, please.
So, Chris, you are going to be performing, I believe, at the Andover Carnival. Talk a little bit about that. That's coming up in July, I believe.
Yes. Okay. So Andover is just the town in England where I have the luxury of living, and the carnival is what they just have every year. They have loads of floats, loads of music, loads of food, and I've done it a couple times and had a couple of little slots, but hopefully this year we'll be getting a nice big slot. But it's a fantastic day of just live music, and if the weather's good, which quite often it's not over here, then it makes the day all that better. But it's a big family fun day just to try and bring the community together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. And when will that be for the viewers that might be watching and then that are in your area? The carnival?
That is a good question. 16th of July.
Okay, good.
Okay. You are going to put it on your Facebook, because I'm sure people in your town, in your area, would love to come see you. I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Yes? Fingers crossed. Get them all
Great.
out. Have a nice little party for us.
Speaking of food, your mother is a caterer. I have to ask you, are you lucky enough to taste her recipes when she's working?
Well, I'll tell you, when she first became a caterer, that was the prime time for trying all the food. Sadly, we don't have that luxury anymore. She seems to have nailed her recipes and scrap.
No official taster anymore, huh?
No.
Oh, dang.
Sadly.
Oh, dang. So you also play guitar. Did you take an interest in any other instrument that you might be using in your music?
I always wanted to play so as a kid, I every year, without fail, asked for a drum kit, which I never got. Probably due to the noise.
Yeah, a lot of parents don't like those.
No. So sadly, I would love to learn. I've started to learn the piano now as well. So
Yeah.
we're starting
Cool.
to
Cool.
learn.
That's wonderful. So you are is this your personal studio, Chris, where you are talking to us at, or where, is this where you record, I guess is what I'm saying?
No. This is it's my sort of personal music room in the house, but the studio is a fair few miles away.
Okay. That's very cool. So, Chris, we just think you're such a wonderful person with such talent. What would you like to see happen for your career in the next year or so?
I mean, to be honest with you, as long as I would love to hit stardom. Don't get me wrong, but
Right, of course.
if I could just, as long as I can make a living just doing what I love to do, I would be more than happy.
And you just said something that really is profound, and you don't even know it, because there's people that put money above their passions in life. And I think it's such a huge mistake. Those are the people that are 78 years old and crying, saying they never did this and they never did that in their life. Do what you love in life. And if something comes of that, that's wonderful. Of course, I know people have to make a living, but even if you have to do it part-time, you know, you got to stick to what you love in life, and you're so right. Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Speaking of music, where can we find your music to purchase, Chris? And we know you're on Facebook and also your website.
Yeah, the website is up and running. The only place you can purchase it, I believe, is iTunes and Spotify.
Okay.
That's only, I think that's only Chills. And then on SoundCloud, which you don't have to purchase anything on SoundCloud, but there are Figure It Out, Beautiful to Me, and My Old Friend on there as well. And then once the album is eventually out, hopefully that will be iTunes and Spotify as well as give me a tinkle.
It will be.
Yeah. Now, the new CD you said will probably be released in August. Do you have a name for it? And how many songs are going to be, do you think, would you like on there?
We don't have a name. We have had a few thoughts, but nothing set in stone. And the amount of songs, I think we're trying to aim for sort of 12 to 14.
Oh, that's a good amount. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice amount.
It is.
That's nice.
It'd be worth
cool.
anyone's money to purchase that. And I think people have, you've listened to music, we're going to listen to a little bit more in a few minutes, but you have heard Chris's voice. And I have to tell you, Chris, some of these songs are just I mean, they're all wonderful, but some are just beautiful. Let's put it that way. They just, I heard it and I went, oh my gosh, this is a song I could play over and over again. And I don't say that about too many songs, believe me. So you're doing something right.
Chris, you are such, again, I have to say, you're such a talented, and I'm going to say this, promising young man. I hope you keep in touch with us, get your name, and, you know, send any new music to Monica that you can think. Let's give your website again, and also where we can find your music again.
Okay, so music, hit me up on SoundCloud, and it's Chris Berntsen. I will spell Berntsen, as a few people tend to get lost in the ether. Is Berntsen, and you've got chrisberntsen.co.uk, and
that's it.
And obviously Chris Berntsen.
And
Facebook. And Facebook, you are right.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and if anybody out there is in Chris's area and you know of a place where you would love him to play, please contact him and contact the owners of the venue and let them know that you'd like to have him there. Because that's how they book people.
So, Chris, we want to thank you so much for joining us. I just have one last question. We've talked about running and art. Do you have any other things you like to do to relax?
Gaming.
Gaming.
I am a big gamer.
Hey, cool. That's a lot of artists love to do that. Thank you, Chris, so much. We realize that it's like 2 a.m. there in England, so we don't want to keep you too long. But thank you so much. Hopefully, we'd like to have you come back maybe in a year, Chris, and let us know what's happening with your career.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have you.
Okay,
thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Now go get some sleep.
Go get some sleep. And thank you, sweetie. We appreciate it so much, and we just love your music.
Absolutely. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a sport to stay up so late, Carrie, to be here with us today. But I'm telling you,
I think that was pretty special. Yeah.
Well, that's how dedicated artists are, some of them anyway, and I'm just thrilled that we were able to have Chris on today and present him to so many people, because he is, he's special as far as I'm concerned. His music is special, and it actually attracts many ages. We're not just looking at teenagers or 30-somethings or 60-somethings even,
Yeah, he has a wide appeal. And like I said, he seems to be a man of many voices. I mean, he can sing Frank Sinatra as well as he could possibly sing you know, a rock and roll song.
Right.
So he's just an amazing young talent. I am just crossing my fingers, and maybe in a year, who knows, he could be, you know, in the strata. You know what I'm saying?
You never know. You never know.
Never know. You know.
Well, folks, I think it's time we play a little bit more of his music. So
Yeah.
Carrie and I are going to say goodbye to you for right now, and we'll catch you next Sunday. Here you go. Take a listen and enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is it time we spent some time alone, out there on our own? Would it make it better? When the best you give is not enough, when you say it's not enough, it sounds so familiar. And there's no time to waste, we're all made the same. It's easier to stay this way and just figure it out. How am I supposed to make you happy now? I will figure it out. I hope we'll figure it out somehow. We can find a way to turn it back again, and don't throw it away. I know we'll figure it out someday. Is it time we spend some time finding peace of mind? Now it's changed forever. When you think the going's getting tough, when you feel you've had enough, it's now or never. And there's no time to lose, we're all made the same. It's harder when you stay this way and just figure it out. How am I supposed to make you happy now? And we'll figure it out. I hope we'll figure it out somehow. We can find a way to turn it back again now, but don't throw it away. I know we'll figure it out someday. And there's no time to waste, we both feel the same. It's hard to find the words I need to say. Just figure it out. Oh, just figure it out. And just figure it out. We'll figure it out. I hope we'll figure it out somehow. Figure it. And we can find a way to turn it back again now, but don't throw it away. I know we'll figure it out someday. Is it time we spent some time alone, out there on our